Hi, Jerry here again for my IBM friends and caregivers. This Part 2 episode about using the Medicare process to fund your next power chair begins after you have completed any assessment sessions with your occupational therapist and primary care physician. Your power chair provider company is currently asking you to sign a form selecting whether you want the new power chair purchased or rented by Medicare. In most cases, I would imagine that decision would have to have them purchase the product. After all, this inclusion body myositis is not a temporary condition. When purchase is selected, warranty will be performed by your provider under the same 80-20% rules the power chair was purchased under. 80% paid by Medicare and the remaining 20% by your supplemental insurance or out of pocket. So now you have the purchase rental decision submitted, so you can just sit back and let the system work, right? Not necessarily. Since the wait and anticipation is never the pleasant part of the process, asking for regular updates is not abnormal. In my case, after learning my doctor had promptly submitted my face-to-face and 7-element prescription within a few days, my provider stated my doctor was not responding to additional amendments requested by my provider. I called my doctor's office and they concluded they had not received such correspondence from my provider company. Something was rotten in Denmark, I reasoned. Remember that change of prescribing doctors mentioned in Part 1 video? Yep, on one of my records in my provider's computer, they had not updated the doctor's name and for 3 weeks had been firing off requests about my face-to-face results to the wrong doctor's office. Glad I decided to do some continued inquiries, or I'd still be waiting for my power chair pre-approval. With all that behind us and the documents changed and signed, I was finally told my paperwork had been submitted and Medicare had the right to take 30 days for review and the approval or disapproval decision. The approval took only 14 days and I received an email copy of the Advanced Beneficiary Notice, or ABN, outlining my out-of-pocket costs for the seat elevator feature and a copy of the detailed power chair breakdown. I immediately examined the order and called my provider to arrange a credit card payment to get my chair on order with the manufacturer. 13 days later, I received a call from my local provider's office to schedule a delivery to my home the next morning. Was I excited? Yes. Before I tell you about the chair delivery process and the power chair I selected, let me summarize my realization of the Medicare process used to purchase this piece of durable medical equipment. 1. Any initial fears of endless number of trips outside the home to get a power chair actually resulted in only 2 out-of-home appointments for me. The first to the occupational therapist assessment at the Seating and Posture Clinic, and the second to the face-to-face meeting with my primary care physician. All other correspondence was completed from home via email. Number 2. Since there are time limits based in the process, it behooves everyone to request regular updates that might signal the need to talk to your provider or doctor's office to smooth out any hiccups in your power chair request. 3. If you are currently operating a power chair, make sure any shortfalls are addressed in the new chair brand and model. And finally, take the time to look over the order sheet and ask any questions about your power chair's options. It's easier to ask questions and verify your chair has the features you want before ordering. I chose the Quantum Edge 3.0 over other major brands based on my experience with 3 other Pride products. 2 power chairs, and a 3-wheeled scooter, and references from 2 qualified power chair service representatives trained to work on various brands and models. Watching various YouTube videos and comparing features to suit my current and future IBM conditions also played a part in my ultimate decision. My provider showed up on time the next morning to find me patiently waiting for them on my home's concrete driveway surface. The provider's representative spent the next 2.5 hours making final adjustments to my chair with me both in and out of the seat. Quite a bit of that time was spent in my garage and on the driveway surface, where the rep dialed in many parameters of my choosing, followed up by test runs. Modern-day electronics on power chairs can be infinitely tailored with the programmer to adjust drive acceleration, deceleration, braking performance, min and max speeds in every mode and direction, turning power, and on and on and on. After the outside session, the settings were checked by driving around on our indoor surfaces just to check things were okay. After the reps had left, I drove my new chair to where I could pair the new power chair's joystick to operate as a Bluetooth mouse on my tablet. Not something I'll use right now, but possibly in the near future, as my right-hand mouse capability is quickly withering. A few days later, I had my friend come over and transfer the Easy Lock bracket from my old to new chair to allow this chair to lock into a securement device in our van. Now I'm mobile with my new ride in my home, in my neighborhood, and on the go as a passenger in our ramp van. The Quantum Edge 3.0 is similar to my previous chair, but with many more useful bells and whistles. Not only can I control all the drive and seat functions through the joystick controls and buttons, but I can control the seat functions through the 4 toggle switches located between the armrest and joystick controller. I tried both variations of the 4 function controls, the button switch and the toggle switch design, and found the toggle switch design for me was much easier to operate than the button type design. The older Edge's max speed when the seat was elevated was only 1.4 miles per hour maximum, and I couldn't drive and elevate the seat at the same time. My new chair with a much faster drive and seat function gets me to the bathroom with more time to spare. Perhaps the smallest thing to some, but appreciated by me and my caregiver who has to assist with transfers during every trip to the bathroom. Disappointed in the headrest bracketry that accompanied my new chair. The headrest support bar stuck out way past the back of the chair, and I could see me poking a hole in a wall or gouging a gash when turning into position in our ramp van. I could also visualize one of my grandchildren running into it, hurting themselves or poking an eye out. Luckily, my old chair had the better design, and I switched them out. Here I am more than 2 months after taking delivery, very happy with the deluxe chair with so many useful features that I now use in my daily living activities. If fall mitigation is becoming a concern for an IBMer in your home, consider using your Medicare insurance to help you save some painful experiences from IBM falls. Stay safe and stay mobile, my IBM friends.